NNF After Dark is brought to you by Sandpiper Vacations. For all of your vacation planning needs, visit www.sandpipervacations.com. Tell them that the No New Friends podcast sent you. Welcome to NNF After Dark. Chris is going to take you through the highlights of the previous episode and maybe even say some bad words, plus celebrity interviews and much, much more. And now, here he is, the scumbag reselling hoarder himself, Chris Yob.
Welcome to No New Friends After Dark. During dark, actually, because it is now 10:26 p.m. Why am I saying this? Because we have Twitch viewers live. If you want to watch us live, head over to twitch.tv/NNF podcast. You can watch this thing live. And you're going to want to because we cut a lot of stuff out. Not a lot of stuff out, but a lot. Because we do keep a lot of this stuff in because this is After Dark, baby, and we are uncensored and unfiltered. This is the podcast where we dig into the parfait of life. We go through the top granola, the fruit filling, the yogurt. We eat it. We have that little bit of yogurt and granola residue on our lips. We lick it off. We chew. We swallow. And that's what No New Friends After Dark is, baby. Along with me in virtual studios is our emotional support K, Nick.
Speaking of swallowing, I'm here.
We have Scott from the No New Friends podcast.
I don't really like yogurt, so I prefer to spit.
And we have a very special guest, someone who's been wanting to come on After Dark for a while now, and is finally able to. We have Alex from the Diz His podcast, also known as Hi, I'm the guy who edits the podcast. Alex, how the hell are you?
This is After Dark, right? I can say whatever I want.
You can say whatever you want.
Frick, man. Frick.
Alex, cut that.
Yeah,
cut that.
leave it to the Diz His guy. Gosh, golly gee, darn.
Jeez.
You can say Universal on here.
Yeah, you can say
I can?
You can say yes.
Oh.
Yeah.
And I gotta lie, Universal's
And-
not hot right now.
And listen, Alex, if you end up mispronouncing chitty chitty bang bang and saying shitty shitty bang bang, that's okay. You don't have to bleep it. You don't have to cut it out. It's fine.
There's no such thing as a shitty bang bang on this podcast, though. And you know what? As a Twitch user, King_Mike_X, also known as Michael X, throw up the X's, please. Michael X did actually point out to my attention, you should probably say what day and what time the Twitch stream is. Great point. Great point. We stream every Wednesday night around 10-ish. I think 10-ish, Scott. I think that's a really
we started
good
8. We started 8-ish Eastern Standard Time.
It used to be 9:30 when I first was told, before I was on the earlier podcast. You're like, be on by 9:30, and then I'm waiting around my phone, and it's 10 o'clock. I'm like, maybe,
Nick,
maybe
I have a question for you.
Oh, God.
I have a question for you, Nick. It all ties in. You have employees, correct?
I do.
Okay, so if they were
Contractors.
let's say they were hourly employees. Okay. You would not be okay if they were doing their own like personal business on your time, correct? Like on company time.
It's a good point.
Yeah.
Okay, just checking.
I see. I'm liberal in that sense. I allow my employees to do whatever they want on my time as long as they're happy.
I can't wait to work for Chris in my future.
It is true. I told Alex, I said, listen, if you work for me, the number one rule about working for me is I want you to be happy.
Good.
Whatever you may do.
Well, Twitch, sorry we're late tonight. Chris and Alex had some other business with another podcast to take care of this evening on our time.
Podcast.
So, my bad.
Who said that?
Wow. Alex,
Scott's used to being early for things.
Guys, you guys say saying Alex cut that because I don't know if you're serious or not anymore.
I know.
It's freaking me out.
You know what's fun? Okay, so let's talk about this a little bit because we are going to talk a lot about reunions in tonight's episode, which I'm really excited to dig into, metaphorically. And maybe we'll say that for segment 2, because Alex, we have you on tonight. And Alex, I want to kind of dig into the brain of the guy who edits the podcast. And I do want to know, like, because I know you have a very strict schedule, and you're not allowed to make these episodes. And that's why this is the first time you've appeared on After Dark. So I kind of want to know, so what have you been wanting to talk about on the show or commenting on the show? Because you haven't really had a chance to lately. And also, what's it like hearing our voices editing the podcast? But also, does it drive you nuts? And I know the answer is yes, but does it drive you nuts when I make the joke, Alex, cut that 45 times an episode? So please, the floor is yours.
It is driving me insane because I don't know when to cut it anymore.
I think we do actually say, Alex, actually cut that.
You do. Like, you're like, Alex, cut that. And sometimes, sometimes you're like, Alex, actually cut that. And then Scott sometimes will start a sentence like, Alex, this is going to be cutted. This is going to be cut. And then he'll continue talking. Yeah. But sometimes it is. Like today, I was editing your first segment, and Chris kind of went off the cuff and started telling a story. And I was like, I'll cut this whole segment off. And then at the end, I hear Scott go, Alex, don't cut this. And I go, motherfucker. Now I have to go back and undo everything I just did because this is not supposed to be cut. Even though
I never thought about it that way, actually. Yeah, never thought. Well, it did not.
Usually we need Chris cut down a little bit. Because his stories are very long.
I disagree. I think they're perfectly timed. So there's pulling back the curtain, like we were actually supposed to do with the original podcast idea for After Dark. We were supposed to talk about the previous episode. So there's this podcast I listen to, and they always say like, "Oh, we'll cut that," and they never cut that. I think it's so funny. So I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna say Alex cut that in this," and then and full disclosure, Alex does message me quite often asking like, "Hey, do you want me to cut this?"
I did at one point. Yeah.
And like, should I cut this? And then it's just kind of caught on like, oh, okay, this is now, I think. So now I'm actually scared that we're gonna say something incriminating. I'm gonna say, Alex, cut this serious, like actually serious, and Alex is not going to cut it.
He's so funny. That guy and kids.
So what is it? Okay, so you get to listen to the most raw cut of an episode. I don't even listen to the raw cut of the episode.
Raw dog
anymore.
it in my ears.
Yeah, literally the most.
Yeah. Does like kind of stopping and going, like, take me through your process. Did the jokes get lost because you're stopping and going? Is it funny? What is it like editing the podcast?
I used to listen to the podcast, so now I just listen to it before everyone else does, which is kind of unique and a fun
cool
experience.
Yeah,
kind
of cool.
And stopping and going doesn't affect me because I'm pretty good at editing, so I don't really mess up too often. So I'm gonna go back and redo it over and over and over, and so I don't really have that effect. And then I was telling Chris that actually I get pretty tired after segment 3 because, like, in my time, it's like maybe 11 o'clock, and I'm starting to get tired. And then segment 3 comes around, and you guys do Florida Man, New Jersey Man, Chris's segment. It really preps me up. It gets me through the last third segment. It really rejuvenates me. And then I'm up till 2 a.m. fucking wired.
All right, so I actually have some questions piggybacking off that. What is the easiest part? Okay, so I will gradually get into more detailed version of this question, but what is the easiest part of the podcast versus the hardest part of the podcast to edit?
Well, the easiest part of the podcast to edit is easily during someone's segment because I don't have to do anything because you guys are talking.
Makes sense. That makes sense.
The hardest part to edit is when you guys talk over each other constantly. And I have to figure out how to fix something. If, let's say, Nick says something really funny, but Scott says something as well. Yeah. And then Scott says something as well. Then I have to figure out how to bind it together so you both can come out and be hilarious at the same time.
So I'm sure it's much easier when Mary's not here.
I mean, I'm not going to say it's not easier.
Just listen to this. It's okay.
What's interesting is that, like, that is the main reason why I asked I hired Alex to start editing it, because that was the thing that was taking me the longest with editing was one, syncing up everything, but going through to make sure that we weren't stepping on each other's jokes. And I still do that for After Dark. I may have to move some audio around a little bit to make sure that, especially if if I say a joke and I step over someone else, I'll cut my joke out because I'd rather showcase everybody else than me. Like,
good to know.
I don't care.
Cut's cut out now.
Yeah.
Got the last 5 minutes of Scott.
My joke is the lowest priority because I'm usually not that funny.
Alex, what is it like being essentially God of the No New Friends podcast? Because listen, we get all five of us say the same joke at the same time. What goes into you determining who to give the spotlight to? Like, I'm curious by that.
Doesn't really happen too often, actually. You guys saying the same thing at the same time. You'll say similar things, and then I'll just make it so like one of you say it, and then one says it like slightly at the same time, or you talk over each other at that moment. Because sometimes talking over each other is more natural than not talking over each other. You know, like that's how people talk. So you know, sometimes when you're saying the same thing, it's just perfect the way it came out.
See, you make it so seamless when you listen to the finished product. You don't even know that anyone's edited the podcast. It just sounds like a normal, conversation between friends, but it's not. It is definitely not. And it's very sloppy. And that's why when I first started doing, when I first ever did a guest host on the Diz His podcast, I was not, I think it was the Three Caballeros. And I was like, I have no stress doing this because I know that Alex will make me sound absolutely perfect. And now knowing that you edit this podcast, I'm like, okay, I can literally say whatever I want, and I know that Alex will make me sound fabulous. Although Scott, when you edited the podcast, you did make me sound great. But it's just like Alex has just got this knack for just making you sound like Alex will take out like my lip smacking that I can't.
Oh my
avoid.
God!
I can't avoid it. But it happens.
Lip smacking.
I can't avoid it. But Alex has just got a talent at making me sound smart.
I can see it. I can see it coming. Your lip smacking.
Yeah, I
see
don't.
it in the audio.
Yeah, no, I don't even see that. So, all of this actually leads me to my next question. So I said, what's the easiest and hardest part? What's your favorite part to edit about the podcast? And what is your least favorite part to edit about the podcast?
Well, like I said before, my favorite part is probably segment 3 because it's like it's the funniest. Ryan's segment is hilarious. And so that's like the funniest segment because he's so funny. And then your guys'
Alex, cut that.
So
We're not going to be able. We can't. That is not good for his ego. We cannot.
So that's like a favorite segment is segment 3, and then my least favorite, I don't know, the fucking 10-minute intro maybe.
Hold on.
10 minutes.
I like that. Are you aware that I cut out your breaths? Are you aware of this?
Well, I'm sure you do. But
I just don't know if you're aware of that.
Hold on. I'm sure if we timed a No New Friends intro and a Diz His intro, by far the Diz His would be about 15 times longer.
We've got
oh my God. Sure. Right now, we're recording live for our Patreon members, and then it goes on about the emails and what did you eat for breakfast, and then dinner, and we got an email.
We want to know, okay?
We want to know. God, Christ,
we care
almighty.
About our listeners.
Well, Chris's intros used to be a lot longer, and I finally just started kind of cutting my way in there.
Yeah.
Nick has helped a lot with that. Actually. He's helped me how to finish a lot quicker.
No, just his intros are very long now.
So okay, that's a I actually love that answer. I love that answer. So just put it on the record. Scott has very long intros, and learned from the best. My
intro, by the way, is about 50 seconds. 50.
Why don't you just pre-record it? It's the same stuff over and over.
That is true.
Because listen, this is an organic, unscripted podcast.
Okay, it might change. You never know.
And exactly the amount of times that I have to throw something else in there, like, oh, hey, nominate us for Orlando Weekly. Hey, vote for us. And I'd be changing it so often.
Orlando Weekly is like 3 months long.
Yeah, I was going to ask you.
I say we might as well just skip that in.
I will scratch this question, but my next question was going to be, what is your least favorite time of the year to edit, and why is it the Orlando Weekly voting?
Yeah, that would be it.
If you ask me what my favorite time of the year to record is, and what my least favorite, and why is it?
I thought I was waiting for a punch. I was gonna fake laugh.
Oh, and why?
Yeah.
Well, you laughed at the joke. I figured I didn't have to finish.
No, do a joke and I'll laugh.
And why is it the Orlando?
Oh my God. Scott, you are so...
You know what? That part is kind of annoying too. That part right there is kind of annoying right there because I don't know what's happening because I can't hear the music.
Wait,
so
Nick's
I'm like,
gay.
why is no one talking? And then I hear Nick go, oh, it's me? Okay. And I'm like, oh, it's Nick part. I gotta put in the intro.
Sometimes he has it timed up for me, and sometimes I'll send him a message ahead. I'm like, hey, like I'm gonna do it and surprise you, and then he's never Scott.
Before you move because you're gay. I do want to move because I'm partially gay. I do want everyone to move because I'm partially. And Alex, wait. So, just for the record, you don't hear that intro song.
No, I don't hear any song.
So
there's another track. There's another track. Well, if you download that, it does sync up.
That's actually really funny. So pulling back the curtain. So when Alex is editing the podcast, he hears like me probably rambling on about probably an amazing Elite story, and then just me pausing for 20 seconds, and then Nick just talking. That's
all of a sudden, I just cut him off, and then.
So I will actually step to the side because I do acknowledge that there is a homosexual approach.
As you should. You should always bow down and step aside for me. Do I have anything this week? I don't know.
I don't know. Do you?
I don't know. He was starting to insult me, so I cut him off.
Dude, Nick. By the way,
you.
I am on Mondays. I play Dungeons and Dragons, and I am the only cis white male there. Oh. I'm a fish out of water there.
Alex basically just said, like, I have gay friends. I have gay friends.
Yeah.
Just to let you know.
I have gay friends. I don't know any gay friends that play that. It sounds.
Sounds gay.
I don't know. It sounds gay.
It's pretty gay. I don't know. We play Baldur's Gate is pretty gay. We play Baldur's Gate now. It's pretty gay.
I do. I'm still talking. Chris. Shut up. I guess the one thing I would say, in 2 weeks, I'm going to be headed to Jamaica to explore some sandals properties and beaches resorts.
I didn't know you had a foot fetish.
Yeah, I love me good sandals. So I'm headed to Jamaica, and I believe I'm going to be recording live from Jamaica.
Wow. I hope they have good Wi-Fi because Scott will kill
I hope so. If not, I hope they have good weed.
That for sure, I know.
Yes. So I'm super excited to check that out. Oh. Could I do my beard hair?
Please do. Please do.
Or I can do. I haven't manscaped in a while. Yeah, I haven't manscaped in a while.
Nick, I'm not like. I know we joke about this. Like, I'm not gay, but if you do that, send me a picture. I'm very interested in what it would look like.
Oh, I'll send you one right now. Some people prefer it.
Sharing is caring, so make sure. As he's like cutting his beard right now.
I know.
I'm like, but that's all I have in my gay segment right now.
Oh, you know what? We're gonna have a move. I'm gay. Total second segment because I want to hear about this class reunion. Yeah. But we had this we had this drop in. This was almost as surprising. Alex dropping in was almost as surprising as Scott's second testicle dropping. Puberty.
It never did. I had to have surgery.
Yeah.
Are you serious?
No, it never. It's actually a very serious subject.
Didn't we do an After Dark episode about my undescended testicle?
FYI.
Alex has never listened to After Dark.
I've never listened to After Dark.
Well, that's very homophobic.
Very homophobic. You're one of those.
I just told you I play D&D with people and I'm only cis white male. What do you mean? I say things like,
I love that
calm down.
I love that you know cis white male too, because I don't think a lot of people know that.
No, I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah. One night they're like, Alex, we're going to give you words and you're going to tell you what you think it means. And then we're going to tell you if you're right or wrong. And I was like, this does not sound like a fun game at all.
That was literally our first episode of After Dark.
No, really?
If you listen, you would have been like, listen, never mind, I know these words. It was Gay 101. It was Gay 101. Yeah. And I actually, Alex, a word to add to your repertoire is, so I was listening to a TikTok famous song this week, and I said to my wife, I was like, what does this word mean? She's like, I have no idea. It's like, I know someone exactly that would know this word. So I texted my good friend Nick from Sandbar Vacations, aka my best friend, and I said, "Hey Nick, let me actually, you know what? Since this is after dark, I'm gonna go a little bit off script here, and by a little bit off script, I mean this. All we do is go.
Yeah,
off
I know. I
script
heard it.
here.
I heard in the editing today that someone was like, "Oh, I messaged the group text," and I was like, "Oh, I don't know."
Yeah, first of
group
all,
text.
little pissed because my phone
No new friends group text.
my phone deleted Nick's text messages from my
Oh,
phone.
sure. They
I mean,
deleted it.
they deleted a bunch
He
of
never-
contacts.
So
from my
he
phone.
messages me about this, and I sent him my response of what the answer was, hoping to get something back from him, and I'm still waiting.
Yeah, I actually forgot to text it back.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go. Okay. So on Sunday, I
Shocker.
texted Nick. I said, "Hey, quick gay question. What is a bussy?"
A bussy?
A bussy. And I sent him, I sent him a song. I said, context for the little thing. He goes, oh, it's like, oh man, this is not a good question. And he said, and then he goes, I don't know either, but I'll listen again. Love this guy. The guy that we're referring to is Dixon Dallas.
Oh, I love Dixon Dallas.
Yeah,
Gay,
Dixon
gay
Dallas.
country singer. It's a
Yeah,
hilarious song. It's
we're talking about good looking,
Yeah.
and we're talking about how he says,
Isn't that a butt?
someone is kissing on my bussy. So he responds. Can I read this out loud, Nick?
Yes. you may.
Okay.
Isn't that a
So,
butt? B-U-T-T?
Well, listen, I'll give you the scholarly answer, Alex.
The gay answer.
So my response, these are actual raw text messages. So you're welcome, everybody who's listening. Nick, like I said, says, I don't know either, but I'll listen again. Love this guy. I said, ha ha, ha ha ha. I told Emily I would have played this for our first dance song if I knew it existed, which I would have. And he goes, ha ha ha, it's freaking amazing. He has a couple good songs. And then, so Nick says, he goes to his scholarly source. He says, I had to Google it, as I've heard it, but I don't use it. A lot of gay bottoms like to call their asshole their pussy or their boy pussy. So it's a bussy now, and I guess. And I hate it when guys call it that. So, Nick, do you hate it when guys call it a bussy because it just has that, I don't know, straight aspect
I hate
to
when
it?
no, because guys call it a pussy.
That's weird.
A lot of the guys,
That's a
I guess,
little
my age
weird.
or something.
That would be strange. That would be like me going to a football game and looking to buy an Eagles jersey, and someone comes up to me and goes, hey, do you want to buy this Dallas Cowboys jersey? Now, Alex and Scott understand what I'm saying there.
I don't know.
So that's exactly what Nick is trying
Okay.
to say about the term bussy.
Yeah.
Now, after knowing all this and saying, I wish that I knew the song existed, so it could have been me and for Emily's first dance song, and I was like, do I still wish it could have been? Yes. Now, Nick, why would anybody? I don't know. I don't want to get too into the weeds here, but I also do. Can you tell me with a straight face? I'm sorry. Can you tell me with a gay face that you have never used the word bussy?
I've never used it.
Come on.
Like I said,
even
I've
when you're a
heard
little
it.
drunk. Even when you're a little drunk.
Uh-uh.
Oh, because I would. I think I definitely would if I was like a little tipsy.
What's a sentence you'd say?
Hey.
Yeah, I'm like, how would you?
I'd just be like, hey, want to take a look at my bussy?
Who are you talking to?
I think I'd be very informal.
Are you
Yeah,
talking
I
about
think
I'd
probably say-
situation?
No, I think I'd probably say to anybody I'd see on the street after a couple drinks to me. I think it's a fun word. I really do think it's a fun word.
I mean, now that he uses it in a song, it's like a fun word.
Right.
It's not, to me, it's not something, even the P one, I'm like, it's not a sexual thing for me. Like, it's not a turn on.
Yeah, I think you should probably bleep that out that I said that on air. Actually, no, I was quoting something. It's like saying the that very racist word in To Kill a Mockingbird. You don't have to bleep that because it's in the book. So I was reading a direct text message.
What word is that,
and
Chris?
I said the P word. It's actually a word that Remy tried to pronounce on Word of the Week a couple weeks ago. So if you want to tune back into that. Yeah, not
then-
going to say that word.
Well, like my husband's even chimed in
Ever.
chat about this as well too. Like he says, any guy that says something like "pound my bussy" is disgusting. Like
I think that means they're straight, right? Like I think it's like
they're just trying to act too straight. Or if they say like, "Oh, I'm wet down there," like no,
Yeah,
it's your butthole. It
yeah. Is there a before we get the break, because I do want to hear about your wholesome class reunion. I want to know about.
You just want to hear about his hole.
Is there? Yeah, Alex, we're gonna cut all this because I just want to know for my information. Is there an actual word that you say? Like, is there a term that you do encourage?
I don't know.
That's a good question.
Yeah.
I'm going to pat myself on the back here. That's a good question. What's a term that you would encourage? Say you're in the heat of the moment. You matched with a real buff guy on Grind. It looks like Hulk Hogan, but in his prime.
Most guys just say, "Play with my hole."
Hole.
My hole.
Yeah.
Why are you putting your finger near my ear?
Okay,
people.
hey,
Yeah.
that's fine with me.
I guess it's different with different ages, or if they're like a twink versus a bear, and how they.
Because it's weird. It's weirder if an older guy says that opposed to a younger guy, right?
Like
Yeah.
a 75-year guy's like, "Hey,
'Cause
come over here and lick my bussy."
Those,
Then you just know he's a huge Dixon Dallas fan. That's kind of probably a turn on, actually. It's like, this guy's on TikTok.
Wait.
Is a strict turn off? Well, yeah, bad grammar.
Okay, so sorry, I have to refer to chat real quick. So there's a lot of conversation. Remy's getting excited because there's new words, and Sean says you don't know what a bussy is. Remy says, "Here's my definition of a bussy: a B-rated P word."
Wait.
And
can
then
you repeat that? Can you repeat that?
Remy says, "Here's my definition of a bussy: a B-rated P word."
What is I actually never seen anything that's B-rated.
No, it's B for
But
Like after A?
but. I don't know.
Oh, he could have just said that.
Yeah,
it's a good play on words, actually. It's pretty clever.
Yeah. And then Sean says any guy who says something like "pound my bussy" is disgusting, especially if they call it wet.
Oh,
Remy, though he's an expert, says 100% agree.
He's like, I hate guys who say "bound my pussy" because it's wet.
don't you just hate when you have a conversation with your friends? Like,
comes up in our group chat like 3 times a week. Oh my god!
On Monday, I'm gonna say like my character fell over and be like, "Man, my bussy hurts," and see if he bats an eye.
All of your non-cis male counterparts will actually respect you so much more. Alex.
yeah, they're gonna love. You're a ginger bear, so
Oh.
you fit in.
Now, real quick, also, Sean also says, also, suck me penis is a strict turnoff. So was that a typo and it suck my penis is a strict turnoff? Or does he not like getting sucked off by Irish men?
Pirates.
Oh, he loves
Or pirates.
Irish men, so I'm assuming typo there.
I thought you were into.
He loves a good Irish.
I thought you were into butt pirates. That's kind of confusing to me. Why? Like, I didn't know you knew that term.
Scott's typing away there.
Alex, welcome to No New Friends After Dark. All right, so this is a little bit of little taste about what After Dark is, Alex. So you might want to listen more, unless you're homophobic. Then I totally understand.
Yeah,
That I will never understand.
I just don't have time. I have so many other podcasts.
Yeah, you know what? I don't have time to be an ally either. I understand. Right, guys? Right, guys?
Hey, we changed our logo.
Okay.
Alex, cut that. We've had a lot of conversations about how it's not enough to just use the colors.
Next
You
week
have
is
to
black
do
and white.
something.
Next week it's black and next year it's black and white.
Oh my God, it's bigger than black and white, Alex. So that's why we do sepia. So Alex actually was like tormenting me. He was like, when are you going to change the His logo back from the pride colors?
Yeah,
I'm sorry,
tired of
Alex.
it. Tired of it.
July 1st, Alex was calling Chris like, hey, can we,
It was like,
get back to the normal thing?
I have a reputation. I'm from Florida. I have a reputation in Florida. All right, you've been listening to No New Friends After Dark. I really genuinely hope you enjoy these commercials, and I will, after we get back from break, I will ask if you like them. So please keep that in mind. We'll be right back. It's No New Friends After Dark. There are 3 things that I hate in life: taxes, nausea, and booking vacations. The first 2 I'm stuck with, but for the third, I use Sandpiper Vacations. Sandpiper Vacations is a small business that is LGBTQ+ owned and operated with travel advisors all over the country. Whether it's a cruise, a trip to a theme park, or an all-inclusive resort, Sandpiper has you covered. Oh, and I forgot to mention, it's free. Why book a vacation when you can have someone else do it for you? That's like choosing to take the stairs in a building that has an elevator. Leave the headaches of booking a vacation to someone else. Get your quote today at www.sandpipervacations.com and tell them that the No New Friends podcast sent you. Really hope you enjoyed those commercials. And by those commercials, I mean the ones that I wrote. I wrote both of them. If you don't like either one of them,
it's a podcast. I can't see your face.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Sorry, I made a crying face, but I forgot you guys can't see me. That's why you should tune into our streams on Wednesday nights on Twitch that are starting around 10 p.m., 10:20, 10:30, 9:45-ish. Just tune in around 8 when we start streaming
or just
our
subscribe
Sunday
and hit the buttons that show you the like button. It's not a like button. There's like a bell,
a bell or
and
something.
A heart.
Yeah,
you can do all of that, and then it alerts you.
Follow. Yeah, pay us. Don't forget to pay us, please. If you have Amazon Prime, first of all, we gotta talk about this. If you have Amazon Prime, you could subscribe to us for free.
Who
we
doesn't
get a little
have
bit
Amazon
of money.
Prime?
It's exactly, Alex. That's why I'm saying if you have Amazon Prime, because I don't want to sound needy. I'm just saying, like, no, if you have Amazon Prime, please consider subscribing. No, everybody has Amazon Prime. Just go and subscribe. And when I say everybody has Amazon Prime, go and subscribe. Alex, why haven't you subscribed yet, bro?
There's no way he has Amazon Prime.
There's actually no.
I use my mother-in-law's Amazon Prime.
That's on brand for Alex.
Yeah, me and my mom share our Amazon account too. It's getting a little bit dicey because Abdul is now messaging my mom on her personal email, which is getting very, very dicey. Alex, I know you don't listen to the podcast. You would never understand. Please listen to episode. Insert episode here to find out why I said that word Abdul. So anyway, this episode. Sorry, hold on. So anyway, this segment, Nick, I want to get a little bit into your reunion. Now, full context, I also had a reunion this weekend that I did not attend because if you guys did not hear, I did, in fact, tear my Achilles tendon. Not twice. No, I mean, not once, but twice. Oh gosh. Don't even jinx me, Alex. It's not...
Nick's on the mic, so it's time to take notice. And if you don't like it, that's homophobic. Stay the hell out of his way. Move, I'm gay.
I don't think I'm allowed to talk. I think it's homophobic.
Yeah. I didn't have anything. I'm like, we're going off
This
script
segment is
again.
all about you. What do you mean you don't have anything?
Oh.
I might be homophobic in a second if you say you don't have anything.
I was just trying to stop the whole Achilles talk.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because I haven't heard about that story before.
I'll
Chris.
just continue on. I would just omit that from the record. I never said anything about my Achilles and how I tore it not once but twice. And once at a graduation barbecue, and then second falling over my dog. And then I pushed me back.
All right, so back to me.
Okay, day before the wedding, we were rolling down the aisle.
Yeah, I was going to say, can we talk about that wedding that you went to, too?
So I was at a wedding, and I was on my knee scooter. And Nick, so you had a class reunion, and like I was just saying until I was rudely interrupted, I had a class reunion that
Rudely
I could not attend this
by a
weekend.
homosexual.
And your words, not mine. And I think you might be homophobic. So, Nick, you had your 20-year reunion. I had my 10-year reunion. Oh,
Yeah.
old alert. And I did not. I was unable to attend mine. You attended both of yours, if I'm remembering correctly. First of all, why wasn't there a 15th? You guys just not like each other that much?
I don't know what the rule is.
Yeah, me either. It's very confusing.
So there was supposed to be a 5-year reunion. That's one of the kids that he was going to go plan it, and unfortunately he passed away.
That's
so it was like we heard that this was going to happen, and then he died in an RTV accident.
In a what?
RTV. Or ATV, whatever they're called. Yeah,
I was gonna ask. I was wondering what an RTV was.
I know. I don't like.
That's actually that's really hard.
Yeah,
I can't even joke.
It wasn't. It wasn't supposed to be like an official class reunion made up by the president or whatever the student council or anything. But they were.
Now, Nick, before you go on, I do want the record to show that Alex did laugh about.
I'm thinking of a story about my wife that's making me laugh.
I for one did not find that funny at all, but I did like for people who aren't watching at home, Alex did laugh.
I'm thinking of a story.
And we didn't know like what the rule is how many years you're supposed to do for your reunions, but we did a 10-year. The guy that planned it was our class president at the time, and
living.
He's still alive. I think he didn't come to the 20-year,
so we don't know.
So
you don't know. But he planned it, and I kind of helped alongside a little bit because I was in the beer industry. I'm like, hey, like I'll donate all the beer for this event. Let's make it rain. And we had about 20 people show up to that one.
So you guys like all blacked out.
20 people? Wow.
Yeah. And we.
Well, how big was your class?
My class. So we started out the year with 200 or like 205 and finished the year with about 175. Okay. We ended with about 175. I don't know what happened to the other people that didn't graduate.
Probably just not interested.
Yeah.
Or busy. Very busy.
Well, they just didn't graduate.
Wow, 175. That's pretty good.
So that is a good showing. Oh, wait, no, 20 showed.
Yeah, only 20 out of 175. So
it's a bad
so not that many showed. But the thing is, I was very apprehensive, very anxious to go to this event. Like,
yeah, sure.
I wasn't popular in high school. I was a band geek. I actually hated high school. I went to college my senior year, did post-secondary college, where I could basically skip my senior year, just went straight to college.
Oh, wow.
And I'm so glad I did that because I don't know how deep my anxiety and depression would have gotten during those times because sure. I wasn't happy there. I was constantly bullied in high school.
Small town Ohio?
Yeah, small town Ohio. Alex, if you're not familiar with where I'm from, let me tell you. So I'm from Lima, Ohio. If there's a TV show called Glee, and the Glee was actually based in Lima. So
did Glee turn you gay?
Glee. I turned Glee gay.
I loved Glee when it came out. I was day one Glee guy.
So this is a running joke, Alex, that I've apparently talked about this multiple times now. But yeah, Glee was actually based in my hometown, or the storyline to it. But I went to high school way before Glee. So,
can you sing, Nick?
No.
We are toying with the idea of a musical episode. Okay, keep going.
Yeah, I mean, I can do.
That'd be fun.
I can do musicals, but yeah,
Perfect.
like regular singing now.
We'll put a pin in that.
I'm
musicals.
Broadway-esque. So I was very anxious to go because I wasn't friends with very many people. I knew my best friend that I still talk to all the time from high school wasn't going to be there. So she was kind of my support system. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
And I wasn't out of the closet in high school either. I mean, people should have known I was gay. I'm sure they did. I've had people joke about it to me in high school, but at that time it wasn't a joke. And so I was very nervous to go, but I felt like for me, I wanted to go to prove to myself how far I have come and to show them that I'm proud of being who I am. And if they don't,
what class were you in, Nick? Real quick, do you want to set the context for people?
Graduated in 2003, so this is 2023. Okay. So if you do the math, that would be 20 years. Yeah.
Only 4 years.
I'm not good at math. I'm sorry.
Yeah, so it was scary. And I saw the list on Facebook of kind of who was going, and I felt comfortable being around those people. I knew that most of them I'm friends with on Facebook, so obviously they followed my life over the years, those 10 years, and knew that I'm gay. I didn't know how they would respond to it or if they would talk to me at the party. But I was very surprised that time, and everybody was very welcoming, and they were asking me about my husband.
Did you bring Sean with you?
No, he didn't go to that one. I'm knowing him. He works retail schedule, so weekends aren't easy for him.
Or is he limophobic?
Is that a thing, Nick?
No, he likes Lima because there's a really good cheeseburger place there that it's called QB. Wendy stole the idea from QB, so fun fact.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nick, is that a because I didn't go to my 10-year. So is that a thing where the people bring their spouses too, even if they didn't go to the school?
In that year there wasn't as many spouses that came to it, so even though there was maybe 24 people at that reunion, and 4 of them were spouses that didn't go to our high school. And a few of them that
This
were
was a 10-year?
at the 10-year. Yeah.
You
the 20-year
100%
we
bring
had
your
a lot of
spouse.
spouses.
Especially if they're good looking. If they're not, you rent someone.
Yeah, why would you not bring your spouse?
Which I've done both.
Oh, I'm not superficial, so.
We'll put a referral code in the description of this episode.
I don't plan on going to any of my high school reunions at all.
Well, Alex was in a class of 5.
Class of 10.
Weren't you homeschooled?
I was top 10 in my class. Maybe top 5. I don't know.
Oh,
You think this is a joke? Alex was literally in a class of 10.
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah. So Alex is like still best friends with the other 9, so he has no need for.
I've forgotten
play Dungeons
almost
and
all
Dragons
their
every
names.
Monday.
Alex, that says nothing. You forget names at the drop of a hat, okay? You probably play Dungeons and Dragons with them every Monday and don't remember their names.
Whenever
I have
text-
gotten them confused for each other. I'm not gonna lie.
That's not a joke either, actually.
Alex, what'd you do this week in the world of
Whenever I
Disney? I don't remember. Literally went to Magic Kingdom
Something,
that
I
morning.
Whenever I text Alex, I make sure I put, "Hey, it's Chris."
Hey, it's Chris from the New Friends podcast. And also, you might know me from the Dizzies.
Hey, we do a podcast together. I was wondering what you wanted to do.
It's like 50 First Dates or whatever that movie was.
Oh,
50
so
Great
so
movie.
Nick, the 10-year was a little weird for you. So that would have been in 2013 because I'm good at math.
Yeah.
So 20. So fast forward 10 years, right? You had a showing of about what 20 people. You said 17 people, something like that. I'm not good at math.
So, funny story. At the end of the 10-year reunion, our class president is the one that planned it and organized everything. Everybody looked at me and knew that I was in event planning at the time, and they're like, "We want you to plan the 20th."
Is that a gay thing? Like if
I don't think
you're an event planner.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it was
throw the best
specifically a gay thing,
parties?
but yeah, we throw good parties. So
Like this guy
I feel
throws.
like I
great
could be an
parties.
event planner. Very
But
organized.
not as good as Nick.
Probably not.
yeah, I mean, look at your decorations right now behind you. Chris's gay percentage is like double yours, so.
If I had,
That's
if I
not
had
gay
a
percentage.
chance,
That's financial percentage.
if I know, but gays have no regard for debt. If I had a chance to go to a straight party or a gay party, I'd go to the gay party every time. Like every time. And I will make the most absurd excuses to make sure I get out of the straight party so I can go to the gay party.
Yeah.
Anyway, so fast forward 10 years, people are looking at you like, listen, you got to plan the next one. Small showing here. You're the
I hadn't
closer
talked to really anybody since the 10-year reunion besides a couple of my regular friends that
here. Right, as you should.
that end up not making it to this one either due to living out of state and stuff like that. But so yeah, I planned this one.
That's impressive, Nick. Can you go in a little bit about like where was it in your hometown? Did you?
Yeah, I went back.
Did you
We
plan it?
went back to Lima. I tried to form a committee to help me with the planning. Basically, all they did was they gave me the location that we had the event at.
Oh, very helpful.
Yeah, because I don't live there anymore, so I'm like, where should we go? That's basically all they helped me with. I had 5 people in a group chat, and I basically went to them. I'm like, hey, like, what time should we do it? Nothing. So I just basically planned all the times and this and that and the decorations. I'm the only one that showed up to decorate.
Oh, that's kind of sucks.
Yeah, which was
That's kinda messed up,
which was
actually.
frustrating. And
If I knew, I would have helped. On one leg,
Yeah.
I would have helped you decorate.
and it's like I was still setting up some balloons when a couple of people walked in, and people weren't. It's Lima. It's a small town. They don't think
Right.
about anything but themselves. So there's still Lima is where they invented the Bean Ryan.
I was actually gonna. I didn't want to. I wanted to cut this, but like, is that actually where lima beans are from?
No, well,
Okay, cut that,
no,
please.
I don't think so.
Cut that. I don't want to sound like an idiot.
Too late.
Sounds like a really nice. So you had to decorate all by yourself. So okay. So now I'm just imagining you decorating by yourself, and I have to pause right now to cry because now I'm sad.
Yeah, it was kind of sad at that moment, but it also made me just realize I knew the people that were coming, and most of them still live in Lima. It's a very closed-minded place.
Now, like when they came and you like, there's little glitter and balloons and stuff. Did you point and be like, "Oh, did you see that that theme that like very closely themed balloon to our our colors?" And like, "Oh yeah." Were you like, "I did that, bitch"?
Basically,
That was me, bitch.
Yeah, because I brought all my yearbooks. I had all my
That's pretty
my
cool.
high school yearbooks.
I have all
so
mine too. I made my mom
had them
buy
set
all
out
of
on the
them.
tables, and it really excited a lot of people. So I was
pretty
very
cool.
proud of the work that I did with it. Because I decorated the place in our school colors, which was orange and black, which is easy to find right now because it's Halloween time. Well, it's orange, black, and gold, but nobody ever cared about the gold.
Very convenient, actually.
Yeah. So did all the decorations, had a nice photo wall with 2003 on it and everything. So it turned out to be very beautiful. The location we had it was an old movie theater that's converted into event space now.
That's
so it's
cool.
actually the perfect kind of place to have the reunion at.
Like an abandoned building. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah, it just felt like it was kind of living people were walking out in the lobby just trying to, it was like reliving a memory in a place that we all used to go to at the same time. So it's kind of cool.
That all jokes aside, Nick, that is really cool. First of all, planning a reunion, planning anything, but planning a reunion is something to be really proud about. Because you're bringing back people that from all walks of life at this point, and I feel like high school is a very, very weird time. Like you said, you hated high school, and rightfully so. I'm sure that there was a lot of horrible times. I know that in high school I had a really good time. My wife did not have a really good time. It's just like it's for people,
I had
it's
fun.
not for other people. Because you had 10 people in your class, Alex, and you probably bullied everybody. And Scott, and but seriously, like, high school is for some people, it's not for other people, and that's cool. But what's really cool is, like, I don't know, 5 years in, maybe you still really don't get that. 10 years in, you're starting to realize that maybe some of the people, but 20 years in, I think everyone is at an equal playing field where it's like, you don't give a shit about, even if like I'll talk to the people who made fun of me in high school. It's like, because they're not that person anymore. We've all matured, we've all grown up since then. I don't know, 20 years is a really good spot.
Yeah.
10 years, I'm still kind of pumping the brakes on, do I really still want to see these people?
Yeah, you definitely I definitely saw a lot more change from the 10 year to the 20 year because people had families, then people have kids now. It's like before,
Right.
like some were in relationships, some were married, but now everybody has kids and families, and so it was kind of a different vibe in that aspect, and I just felt more not just accepted as being myself, but it gave me that closure, I think, from 20 years
absolutely.
ago of being bullied and seeing these people again and
Sure.
saying, you know what, I can move on from this. I can move past that. And that's where I'm at in my therapy journey, as well too. Is just, I'm over the past. Like I let it go. I'm moving forward and just continuing to live life, and very proud of myself for having 30 people show up, or 30 students. We had probably 40 people there with extra spouses and stuff. And
200% increase.
Yeah,
might I add. 200%
yeah.
increase from the 10 years.
Thanks for the numbers. 'Cause, so we had a great time. Everybody really enjoyed themselves. I had so much support back. What's really cool is one of the students was able to get a hold of a time capsule that we made. Apparently.
I wanted to ask you about this, and please elaborate about this. What? So it was buried in 2003.
So we realized this. We realized this when we got there. Nobody remembered. Half the people remembered because it's only in one social studies class. So there's only a certain group that kind of knew about it. It was packaged at the end of 2002. So the end of
where was this buried?
Ended of our junior year. They ended up not burying it because we knew our school was getting torn down in a couple of years. So the teacher ended up just taking it home or something, and she's kept it for like 20 years, and she gave it.
That's still very cool. So you opened it for the first time in 2020.
Yeah, we opened it. Nobody kind of remembered what was in it. When we opened it, it was a whole range of emotions. There was basically a bunch of different scrapbook type things in it that the classes made.
It's like a lot of homophobia. It was 2003.
Yeah,
it's like
a lot of homophobia.
Like a lot of
this
Islamophobia.
2002. Remember, this is 2002. So there was a scrapbook in there of like people wrote a biography of what was going on in their lives during that time, which is really cool.
Oh, that's cool. Wow.
Some of them were there to read it, or they're taking pictures of them and send it to their friends that couldn't make it to the reunion. And then there was a scrapbook showing different buildings around the city of Lima at that time.
Real quick trigger warning, discussions of September 11th coming up.
And then we get to a newspaper from September 12th, 2001, day after 9/11.
Oh my God.
So we were super excited to open this, thinking like there's endless possibilities.
Was there a trigger warning on the time capsule?
There was not one, but I did have peanut butter and jelly sandwich afterwards. So we see this newspaper. There's another photo album in there of newspaper clippings and articles throughout the year, and just so much different stories. So it was a wide mix of emotion, and we all just in that moment kind of started talking about what classroom we were in when 9/11 happened. Scott, please be sure that we put in a thing at the beginning about talking about 9/11.
Yes, no problem. I'll also play a 10-minute clip.
Crazy, remember?
Perfect. So it was really cool to open it. For some reason, I remembered there being a video tape that I made in video productions class that we put in, but there was nothing in there. So I planned ahead because I'm thinking. I was taking a walk a couple days before, and I'm like, I feel like there's a VHS tape in there, and I'm like, how are we going to watch this if there's a VHS tape? And I have a VHS.
That's a good question.
I do have a VCR, so I brought the VCR as a backup in case, but there was no VHS tape. There's actually a couple mixtape CDs in there that I'm pretty sure our 10th grade keyboard teacher probably sold to the students in, because he used to do that as his side job. And we ended up taking those CDs to that after party that I talked about earlier on the other podcast, and but it was a fun night. Once the party ended, one group went to somebody else's house for an after party, and then another group and myself went to the kid that was homeschooled to his after party.
Alex, how was the after party?
That sounds like a great party.
I don't remember.
Yeah, it was great. Thanks for having us. But we had a really good time. So he was homeschooled, but he went to our school for one class a day so he could play sports. But he has a house kind of out in the country. Like I said, he's got a big barn full of chickens, and there was turkeys and a peacock and a tree, and we just had a fun night.
That sounds like an amazing party, Nick. I'm not gonna lie.
We sat around the fire from probably 10:30 until about 2 a.m. and it was just
amazing.
Fun. There was like maybe 12 of us that stayed for that, so it's just nice to reconnect with them and kind of hear their stories about their after parties and how fucked up they got in high school. And I was like, oh, I was at home with my parents. So it did make me feel good going to my reunion, and I know a lot of people talk about how they don't want to go to the reunion because they have no reason that they want to see somebody that they didn't like from the past.
Sure, yeah.
For me, suffering from anxiety, it was very helpful for me, especially going through my journey that I've been on the past few years now, to go back and just kind of let that all go. So.
Yeah, Nick, in all seriousness, I'm really happy that you were able to go and kind of get some sort of closure for all of the, open-ended questions, I guess, that you experienced in high school. That's see, now in high school I was overly social, but I was overly social with people that I didn't even want to be social with. It's kind of like, because in high school you don't really know, like you want to be the cool kid in high school, right? So you want to be friends with the quote unquote cool kids, right? And the cool kids are just all losers, and you don't really want to encounter them ever again after high school, right? And so my 10-year reunion, while it looked like it was a nice crowd, I'm sad that I couldn't go. Am I happy that I tore my Achilles and was forced not to be able to go? I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. No, but seriously, so there was this one moment last year during the holiday season that I had a holiday party at some sort of brewery for my company. And after all my employees left, there was actually another party going on. It was a graduation party for a kid that I knew from high school. And a bunch of his friends, some of my high school friends were there. And my wife and I went out with them after that. And we went and had the best time. That sitting around the bonfire till 2 a.m, Nick, that was like, and it was kids that I never knew that I wanted to see again. But when I saw them again, it's like, man, I'm so glad that I saw them again. And it's those kids that you did talk to maybe on a everyday basis because you had classes with them, but you never hung out them outside of school or this or that. And as you start hanging out, you talk with these people for a couple hours at a time, and it's like, man, this was nice. And I remember saying to them a few times, like, this is my reunion. Like, this is what I needed. This is like, if we don't ever have a class reunion, I'm glad we had tonight. And since then, I've had a wedding with someone that I was actually, so I said I was the vice president of the class. The president of the class had his wedding, and I saw a bunch of kids from high school there. And again, same comment. Why do we need a reunion? This is all I need here. Glad to see you're you're alive and well. Glad to see you're doing well with your life. Glad to see you're in a relationship. You're engaged. You're married. You have a kid. Et cetera, et cetera. That's all I need. And I'd be lying if I said Facebook doesn't fill the void for a lot of that. Like there's most of the people that I graduated with on Facebook, I see they're doing well. I say that's enough for me. If I wasn't even friends with them on Facebook, that'd be enough for me. But Facebook does that job for me. Seeing some of these people, I should say, not all of them, some of these people, like I said, Michael X, our Patreon member now, when I had a couple beers a couple weeks ago, that was amazing. You don't need to see all these people, but Nick, what you experienced, I'm so glad you were able to. And because we need that little bit of closure from high school, because high school is a very weird time for everybody. And as you get older and as you mature, you start to appreciate that time more, for better or for worse. When we see those people that we actually care about, it means so much. Now, Alex, I'm not going to ask you about your class reunion, and Scott, I could care less about yours. So when we get back, we're going to ask Scott about his summaries for us, tonight's episode, because cautiously optimistic about them. We'll be right back with No New Friends After Dark.
Hey, you want to join a cult? Well, this might be your lucky day. For just $2 a month and a simple blood oath, you can join our clubhouse and become a friend with benefits. In addition to the amazing feeling of donating to the poor, you will have access to Patreon-exclusive content, live shows, and maybe even a behind-the-scenes look at my secret stash. To get started, head on over to NoNewFriendsPodcast.com and hit Join Our Clubhouse. Can't wait to see you at the initiation ceremony. Oh, and in the chat during our live shows, of course.
We're back again? Scott, are you sure? We have one more segment left? This is a special 3-parter tonight, I guess. I guess it's just a special night because Alex, the guy who edits the podcast, is on tonight, and we want to make life a living hell for him tonight. So we're going extra long. Just kidding. Scott edits this. We wish for Alex.
Alex says you're not at this one.
Yeah,
because he never listens to this.
No. Alex is texting me. He's like, "Hey, make this extra long," so Scott understands how I feel on a weekly basis. With all that being said, we had a little bit of fun, a little bit of sappy, a little bit of gay. All right, so for those who didn't see, for those who didn't hear me as well as
Scott, please do not edit that out.
For those who didn't hear me as well as Nick's dog fucking chowing down on dinner.
Every time. And no, this time it's the fat dog too that doesn't stop eating.
So I was like, all right, Scott, you have any summaries?
I do have a couple tonight. All right, so Nick just got back from his Coast to Ghost tour. Dixon, Dallas is the name of Nick's next vacation tour.
Why didn't we think of that one, Ryan?
Speaking of Dixon, Dallas, Alex said he loves Dixon, Dallas. Well, Chris loves Dixon, Ohio.
It's Dixon, Columbus, actually, but...
Tonight we learned the definition of Bussy. Well, we can also say that Chris is a basshole.
But he hates being wet.
That is true, actually. It's valid.
Alex let us know that he does not listen to No New Friends After Dark. Alex, tell us you stormed the Capitol on January 6th without telling us that you stormed the Capitol on January 6th. Alex also said he doesn't have Amazon Prime. He uses someone else's. Alex, do you and Sarah attend the same synagogue?
Oh my God.
Hey, my family has thrown around the idea of celebrating Hanukkah in my honor.
You should. You absolutely should. Alex said he graduated high school. It's funny, Alex. I always pictured you as a GED guy.
Compliment?
Chris said that when he texts Alex, he has to say, "Hey, it's Chris." Well, when I text Chris, I have to text Emily after not hearing back from him for 6 hours just to make sure he didn't lock himself in the garage and eat himself to death.
It's funny because it's actually true.
Chris said he's good at math. Chris, I thought you were Puerto Rican, not Asian.
Oh my God.
Wow.
God.
What did he say? He was
Out
good
of
at
nowhere,
math?
on the top ropes.
He goes, "I'm really good at math" at one point. Chris said that he's overly social with people in high school that he did not want to be social with. I think the same thing every time I introduce him on the podcast. It's not one of my best. Anyway. All right. This is a long one. Bear with me.
That's what he said.
Nick said that he was sad that he had to decorate by himself. All right, Nick, let's let the cat out of the bag. That's a lie. Nick actually FaceTimed me while he was stretching naked. And I was like, "Nick, what are you doing?" And he's like, "I'm getting ready for my equivalent to the Marvelous Basin." I was very confused. And I said, "Nick, what the hell is a Marvelous Basin?" And he's like, Cher performs in the middle. I was like, "Nick, I'm not following." He's like, "There's a bunch of men in tight pants with bulging cocks, lots of tight ends and wide receivers, a big gold ball and a shaft, and a bunch of high-priced commercials." I'm still completely lost. Nick, were you talking about Super Bowl? Was it Super Bowl, Marvelous Bay? I don't know.
Okay, that was good. So I gave you the pity laugh at Marvelous Basin. I was like, I guess that was the punchline, but that was actually clever, Scott. That was a good one.
Thank you. No, Marvelous Basin was the setup for it doesn't make any sense until it,
When you pause.
I still don't get it.
So Marvelous Basin is like a
gay man decorating is like his Super Bowl. Nick doesn't watch sports.
And the Super Bowl.
So he doesn't know what the Super Bowl is, so he called it a Marvelous Basin.
No, the Super Bowl is the thing that happens before. There's a concert before. Like,
It happens after the puppy bowl.
Okay,
yeah, there's always a game around this like amazing concert. It's annoying.
Yes, yeah. Yeah. Who was it last year? The girl in the red thing that everyone's like, oh, is she pregnant? Anyway.
Michael Jackson.
And finally, Nick does not like the term Bussy. Chris asked, what are Nick's approved terms? Nick couldn't answer on air. He was a little bit embarrassed. So he actually texted me the approved terms for butthole. Love tunnel, rainbow road, dick cave, lube tube, exhaust pipe, and Chris. And those are my sentences.
So graphic.
I like the Rainbow Road one.
Rainbow Road. Yeah. That's what I was talking about when I went to Mario Land in California.
Yeah. Because you throw a lot of bananas in my... Okay, so anyway, thank you guys so much for listening to No Friends After Dark. Alex, special thank you to you.
Yes.
Alex, I would like you to come on more often. I think that'd be great.
Please. Yes.
I would love to, but I'm working so hard.
I wasn't talking about the podcast.
New Friends podcast.
So...
You came back at me for last week on disses when I cut you off.
I don't remember that, but it's probably the whiskey.
Wait, last week on Disses, didn't your microphone die and you weren't there?
That was like 2 weeks ago.
That was 2 weeks
I had to
before.
actually literally send
Jesus.
give Alex a hand. I went down to Florida and fixed his microphone for him.
Well, so
not
at least
true
you
at
have a
all.
hand to give.
RP, Sarah?
I had to Uber down there. It wasn't easy, and I had to have someone push me in a wheelchair to it. So anyway, if you or a loved one have been invited to a high school, I don't know what do I say.
No, that's really funny because you started last week's ending with if you are a loved one, and then something.
Really?
That's really
Did I
funny.
really?
Yes.
All right, hold on. Should I redo it?
Yeah.
Yeah, start off
okay.
again. Just don't say what I think
All
I'm going to say.
If you or a loved one were invited to a high school reunion before a traumatic Achilles tendon injury, you too may be entitled to a 20-year reunion, which is way more lighthearted, way more inclusive, and everyone's a little bit less of an asshole. It sounds like, Nick, right? Is that a good way to put it?
Yeah. It was,
A little bit. Everyone's a little bit
more
less of an
calm.
asshole.
Everybody's moved on in life.
200% increase in response rate as well.
Attendance?
Yeah, attendance. So don't say tendon. That's not a
Sorry.
sore subject for me, Alex. Literally sore. I'm in a lot of pain right now. Thank you so much for listening to No Friends After Dark. We will be right back here again next week with Alex. Right, Alex? You'll be here next week?
What? I don't know. Maybe.
Maybe.
No, but we do have a special guest next week.
Oh, we do.
Oh.
Guests or guests?
Guests.
Whoa.
Multiple.
Whoa.
Yeah, I won't be here then.
What's the plural of three? Or the two? The guests. So we have three guests.
An orgy.
We're having
right,
a
Nick?
throuple. Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess four because
Non-show
sophisticated gentlemen will probably want to come on for this one.
We're gonna, a lot
This
of
is
people.
going to be a great orgy
A
then.
lot of people are coming on next week's episode, so you are not going to want to miss. If you do miss, I guess you're just homophobic. On behalf of me, Nick from San River Vacations, Scott from the No New Friends podcast, and Alex from the Diz His podcast, and the editor of our podcast, I'm me. Wait a second, I said me twice. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for listening. Not listening. I sound like Scooby-Doo. Thank you so much for listening. We will see you again next week. No, we won't. We will not see you. I will not see any of you. We will hear you again next week. We will not hear you either. You will hear us again next week. This has been No New Friends After Dark. We will hear you next. We will listen. You will hear us next week.
Bye. Bye. Move, I'm gay.
This was the most painful night for intros and outros collectively that I think we've ever had.
I was trying to be as messy as possible because I was like, you know what? I can't get any. Like, I don't know how to do a good outro tonight. I don't know how to do a bad outro tonight. Let me do a horrible outro tonight.
Yeah. We haven't had one of those in a while.
We have not.
No, we haven't.
We're overdue. Alex, I hope you had fun tonight.
It was good.
You know what? That's actually high praise because Alex, you just say, it was pretty good. It's pretty good. Tonight was good.
Yeah.
No New Friends After Dark has been brought to you by Sandpiper Vacations. SandpiperVacations.com. Just check out our website, NoNewFriendsPodcast.com. Become a friend with benefits. Check out our sweet merch and so much more. This has been a No New Friends Entertainment LLC production.